Hello and welcome back to the channel to both my subscribers. I am sorry it's been so long since I put out a video. Real life kind of gets in the way, and I was planning on making a video on Classic, but then, like I said, shit kind of just happened. So, yeah, I kind of had a little change in things going on with my World of War crafting, and I am now, as you can tell from the title of this video, I am now playing a Holy Paladin. It seems that for 8.2, healing had been having a consistent healer was not necessarily something that could be relied on in my guild, so I was asked if I would mind switching, which I love healing, so it was not a problem. I'd been playing my paladin as retribution for a while now, and we needed a single target tank healer, so it seemed like a natural switch. So that's what I did, and yeah, so since I was going to be healing, actually, I was asked mainly to be an extra healer and then fill in as a main healer in the event that I was needed. But as such, I kind of, I wanted to, look up all my, on my class and spec and make sure I knew what the hell I was doing and didn't totally suck at it. So I, yeah, I did some research, read some stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, let's see if someone made a good YouTube video out there. And I went and I looked up YouTube video. I basically typed in 8.2 Holy Paladin Guide, and let me tell you, what I found was absolute garbage. And I figured, you know what? I could probably do a little slightly bit better than absolute garbage. So here I am making this video. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm not a hardcore raider. I am a heroic raider who is very casual in my gameplay. I'm not super serial about everything I do. I try and have fun. I raid twice a week heroic, and I do have ahead of the curve. Don't worry, I'm not going to knock myself over, patting myself on the back. But I do like to raid, and I just mainly do it for fun and not any kind of like super competitive way. But that being said, let's go into what I found and what I've researched and what I've actually practiced and what's helpful and what's good for me. And hopefully this will help anyone else out who's kind of looking for some of the same. So let's just start off with talents. I run a Glimmer of Light build, which is probably the most common build. Glimmer of Light, for those of you who don't know, is a Azurite trait which causes Holy Shock to leave a glimmer of light on a target for 30 seconds. When you Holy Shock, all targets with Glimmer of Light are damaged if they're mobs or healed if they're allies. So a little extra healing and damage for when you Holy Shock. So this spec is built around Holy Shock. As such, Crusader's Might, which is a talent that basically reduces the cooldown of Holy Shock whenever you use Crusader Strike, is your go-to. Fairly obvious. Next row, not really super impactful. I see a lot of people doing Rule of Law, which increases the range of your heals and the reach of Mastery by 50% for 10 seconds, 2 charges. I really just don't see that as being super helpful. I go with Cavalier, which gives Divine Steed 2 charges, because as you all know, Paladins are pretty slow. Next row, again, not super impactful. Blinding Light's okay. I've been doing a lot of World Quest as Holy just to kind of get the hang of things, and Fist of Justice, which reduces the remaining cooldown on Hammer of Justice by 10 seconds when you judge. It's not too bad. This next row is kind of going to be a toss-up between Devotion Aura and Aura of Mercy. Devotion Aura is good, probably better in like a dungeon type situation, or if you have a really ranged heavy group, you'll get a lot more benefit to it from in your melee and for your tanks. So it can be good like that. But if you've got kind of like a mismatch of ranged and melee, it's not going to be as effective. But when you use your Aura Mastery, everyone gets the 20%. So it could be good like that. I go with Aura of Mercy because it's passive heals, and then when you use your Aura Mastery, it's basically like a healing cooldown that's going to actually heal. So if people have taken damage, it will restore their health. And it kind of also plays into my essence that I've chosen to go with, which I will get to in just a little bit. Next row is pretty standard. It's a Holy Avenger. It's going to increase the healing of your Holy Shock by 30%, increase your haste. A good healing cooldown. The other ones, Holy Prism, I've never liked it, and I wish they would get rid of it. Judgment of Light is good, but if you have another Paladin, probably a Retribution Paladin in your group, they can do that. 90 tier is kind of a toss-up between Sanctified Wrath and Avenging Crusaders. For those who like want to be the healing through DPS kind of role, this seems like it would be the go-to one. But what I've actually found in practice is that Sanctified Wrath is better because, first, Sanctified Wrath is going to reduce the cooldown of your Holy Shock, which means you're going to be able to Holy Shock more. And it makes your Avenging Wrath last longer, which is going to be make you basically be doing more heals or more damage if you use it as a damaging cooldown. Now, I like it. I like it better. This is also it relegates your Crusader Strike to only being basically a DPS and hope that you can make the most of it. I don't like it. It adds a layer of complexity that I don't need. I like Sanctified Wrath better, especially if I'm going straight heals and I need that extra healing. It's going to give it to me if I don't have anything to attack. Avenging Crusaders, you kind of basically lose that. Next row is really situational. Since I'm kind of like the swing healer, the extra healer for sometimes, I'm going to go with Divine Purpose, which will give me a chance to do crazy DPS if I get procs right. Also, free heals every so often or whatever. It's okay. It's pretty easy. If healing, healing is not my number one priority. I'm not focused solely on heals. It's good. Otherwise, in a raid, I'm going to go, if I'm focused more on tank healing, I'm going to go with Beacon of Faith on each of, so there's a beacon on each of my tanks, and it's going to go with that. Beacon of Virtue is probably going to be better in a dungeon type situation. So disregard everything I have here in PvP talents. I do not PvP. I have war mode off, as you can see, and I just put whatever in there so that I could stop getting the pop-up over here telling me I have new PvP talents. So yeah, that being said, let's go into stats real quick. Stats are pretty basic. Crit, you're going to want crit because Holy Shock, it's your main thing. You get 30% additional crit chance for it. That means I have a 52% chance to crit whenever I use Holy Shock. Pretty good. Haste, you're cranking out the Holy Light and Flash of Lights real quickly. You're going to heal more throughput. Downside is you're going to burn through mana quicker. Mastery, closer you are, the better your heals are. It is what it is. I never liked that as mastery for a paladin, but whatever. Versatility is pretty standard. You're not going to really want to pay too much attention to it because your other stats are more important. Yeah, and the rest are just extra bonuses that you're going to get on bonus gear. But now for the real important stuff, which is the stuff that's pertinent to 8.2, which is essences. Now, some guides I've seen say, oh, these are the essences. This is good, this is good, this is good. Well, what's best? That's what everyone wants to know. What's going to be the best for me? I had to do a little playing around. So if you look at your Heart of Azeroth, you can see. Now again, as you can tell by my neck level, I'm not super hardcore. I'm not, I'm not grinding stuff out every day to try and get my stuff, tip top of the thing. So all my essences are rank 1. Most people playing casually are going to be at rank 1, maybe rank 2 on a couple of them, but these are my information that I'm giving out is for people who are casually playing that are going to have these rank 1s. These are easy to get. These are the ones I've gotten by basically having honored with both the reputations. The first one you get is the Crucible of Flame. It's pretty basic. On a 30 seconds cooldown, you get a free damage or a free heal. And the more you use it, the more the damage is or the more the heal is. And that's the one you initially get. From there, the next one I got was Memory of Lucid Dreams. Memory of Lucid Dreams is good for healing if you have mana issues. You clear your mind, tune yourself with the Heart of Azeroth, increasing your mana generation by 100% for 12 seconds. Only problem is, and also your spells and abilities have a chance to refund 50% of the mana spent on them and heal you. As that's a passive effect. The only problem is that paladins don't really have mana problems. I probably have all the healers. They have the least mana problems that I've seen anyway. So that one's not super great. The next one I got is really good when you look at it from a throughput standpoint. It's the Ever Rising Tide. Overcharge your mana for 8 seconds, causing each spell you cast to increase your healing by 3%, stacking, while overcharged your mana regeneration is halted. So you're going to crank out some big heals, but you're going to burn through some mana. And the passive effect is it has a chance to grant you either 1500 intellect for 10 seconds or 2000 mana. Chance of receiving your mana increases with your mana miss when you're with your missing mana. So this is actually pretty good. Probably the best one for throughput, but not the one I'm going with, because the one I'm going with is one I actually like a lot better because it's worked for me in a rating standpoint, which is the Well of Existence. Release all healing stored in the Well of Existence into an ally. This healing is amplified by 20%. So 15% of your overhealing is stored in the Well of Existence. When you heal a target under 40% health, the well releases up to 6,000 of its stored healing into them. So that's the passive effect. So if someone's low on health, they're getting free bonus heals, right? But really, the active ability is what counts. So you look at this, release all the healing into the Well of Existence, and it's amplified. So if I heal someone right now, it's going to heal them for 218,300, which is how much health I have. So if I get my tank, I've been healing along, and all my overheals are going into this thing, and my tank just drops. I can, one ability, basically get them almost to full, because I imagine a tank's probably going to have somewhere between 300 to 400k health, and if they're getting 218k, that's an enormous heal. That's an enormous heal, and I really like the idea of having a oh shit, save the raid button, and that is awesome to me. Now, there's going to be other essences as you go along that are going to be better, but most of the better essences that you're going to find are ones that are gated by rep. They're gated by the new season happening. They're gated by the new raid happening. So this is basically what I found that works good for pre new season 8.2, and I'm liking it a lot. So before I go, I want to show you a little bit of how this works. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to get my ass kicked for a little bit by this training dummy, and then I'm going to heal myself for a fairly decent amount. I'm at 50% health, 46. Oh, I'm getting low. I'm going to get a little help from my... yeah, did you see that? So I'm going to start taking damage here because I have this belt, the Mind Thief Eldritch's clasp from... I can't even remember what the raid is called. It's hot here, and I don't have air conditioning. That's probably why you've been hearing the fan in the background. But anyway, the where is that? Refreshment. Refreshment healed me for 59k. The reason why it healed, well, it's the Well of Existence healed me first, and then when I hit the refreshment, it healed me again. But probably just before that happened, your Phantom Pain healed you for 97k. So yeah, I got a big heal from that, and it's just, it overhealed for 194k. I mean, if that's not going on me, if I'm able to get that onto someone else, and I can pull out like 200 some k heals on them, that's going to be insane and invaluable to have when you really need it. So I thought that's cool. That's why I run with this, and it gives you this cool little Azurite ball that runs around you. I ran around for like 10-15 minutes before I figured out that's what it was. But when it gets full, and it also lets you know when you're max also, because the more you heal, overheal, more overhealing you do, the more round it gets and the less flat it looks, and that kind of tells you, hey, my tank's gonna need a big heal. He's gonna, when I hit the button, he's gonna be able to get that big heal, because I can tell it's gonna be big from the size of my Azurite glob floating around. So yeah, it's pretty good. But that's pretty much gonna do it for this video. If I missed anything or something you'd want to add to this, please let me know in the comments section down below. If you like this video, please hit the like button. This is the part normally where I'd say something clever, but again, it's freaking hot. I got my ceiling fan. We don't have air conditioning in Alaska. It's 90 degrees. This is wrong on so many levels. So I'm just going to call it here and wish you all a great day, night, morning, whatever it is when you're seeing this, and I'll see you next time.